It's beer o'clock on Real Ale Craft Beer. Today we've got a beer from Toast Ale, and this is a bottle of their Pale Ale. It's coming in at 5% ABV in a 330ml bottle, and it's been brewed with surplus bread. So these guys have got a really good story. They've teamed up with a local baker, and the bread that, I don't know, is past its best goes to the brewery makes the beer out of it. Pretty cool, I think. Let's get this beer out into a glass, see what we get. Nice bit of smoke on the bottle opening. Smells quite zesty. Beer in the glass. We got a 1 to 2 finger white head. Nice levels of carbonation, hazy. Well, I'm saying it's slightly hazy. It's not massively hazy. There's a little bit of haze in it, but it's definitely amber coloured. It's more clear than it is hazy, but there's definitely a little bit of haze in there. Let's get the all-important aroma then. Really zesty. Really kind of, yeah, nice quality malt. Bread. It's a combination of bread and malt. It's not 100% bread. They just stick bread in there to, they call it planet saving beer. Nothing goes to waste. How did we get there anyway? How did we get to this whole situation where it's fashionable, where everything gets used? After the war, 1950s, 1960s, everybody reused stuff, you know. They'd use the lard from bacon fat to spread on their toast, and everything was used. Absolutely everything was reused. I've always reused stuff. I've always stuck, you know, the Chinese tubs. You have a Chinese, I always put the Chinese, I've got about 800 of the damn things in my cupboard down there, but I use them all the time. If the kids don't eat their food, a couple of fish fingers or a couple of chips left over, a couple of roasties from a roast dinner on a Sunday, hot dog. Well, you've all seen the hot dog I got out of the Chinese container when I did that man versus beer thing. I save everything, I reuse everything, I eat everything. Never chuck anything away. But we went through I'd say 1990s, early 2000s, where it was almost cool to have too much stuff. It was almost cool to like not make fry up on a Monday. Bubble and squeak, fry up, whatever you want to call it. I love fry up. I purposely cut too much vegetables so we can have fry up on a Monday. Perfect. But I remember meeting people who would go, ooh, they'd turn their nose up at you. They'd look at you in a weird way. They'd go, ooh, you don't eat that fry up stuff, do you? And you're like, what? What planet are you from? Anyway, yeah, this has got a great aroma. Lemony, zesty, orange peel. Bit of grapefruit. Smells great. Let's dive in. Cheers, everybody. That is really good. Really, really good beer. Most of the Toast Ale beers now, I was in Brew London a month or two ago. Most of their beers now have made their way to cans, canned craft beer. You can't really get the bottles anymore. So if you do see their beer, pick it up in a can. It doesn't have to be in a bottle. I don't even think it's in a bottle anymore. It's got a really nice malty backbone, biscuity, bready, malty backbone, with a nice bitter finish on the back end. But before that bitter finish, you're picking up grapefruit, orange peel, fleshy blood orange, a spiciness, a pepperiness, a really good drinkability for a 5% ABV beer. A really good drinkability. Having a look at the beer as I rock it back and forth, you can see that carbonation chasing the head of the glass. It's a really good beer. It's a really, really good beer. I've always been a fan of Toast. Now, I know they had a place on the supermarket shelves of Tesco, but I think they've been binned off. I think Tesco, the ruthless company that they are, they've moved away from Toast Ale. I don't think you can buy their beers anymore from Tesco, but I remember a couple of years ago you'd be able to nip into Tesco and you could buy their IPA or this pale ale, and I've always liked their beer. I've always bought their beer. I like the Warburton's beer that they brewed. That was pretty cool. Warburton's bread beer. But it was always a beer that you could rely on. You'd pick up some... I like a drink on the weekend. I think I've told you a million times now. On the weekend, in the daytime, I like to start about 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Have a little drink, especially if the sun's shining out in the garden there. I'll grab a couple of beers, sit out in the garden, pop in here, 2:30, put the chicken on, go back out in the garden and just chill, just enjoy a few beers. Just enjoy a few of these beers. And I've drunk their beers. I've drunk their beers on many occasions on the kind of weekend, and it's good stuff. It's good stuff. Readily available though. I think, and this is the difference now, because it was on the Tesco shelves, it was there. You'd pick it up, you'd go, yeah, there we go, we'll have some of that. But unfortunately now, because they're not on the Tesco shelves, I think you can quickly forget about a company like this. And I mean that with the greatest of respects. There's just so much beer out there at the moment that to actually go to Toast's website and order a load of their beer and mess about with delivery and all that kind of stuff, I'm still a bit old-fashioned when it comes to that, so I prefer to jump in the car and go to the supermarket. So perhaps the younger generation do. Perhaps they've got a list of beers that they want to drink on the weekend and Toast might be on there. They just visit their website. It's not difficult, is it? It's just I'm set in my ways. It's good, it's really good. It looks good. It smells good, it tastes good. I like the balance between the sweet malt and the bitterness on the back end. Brewed with surplus fresh bread, malted barley and Cascade, Chinook and Centennial hops. A golden zesty smooth pale ale. You really can get that Cascade, Chinook and Centennial hop. It's a really punchy beer. It really kind of punches above its weight. I really like that. I really like it. It's won a Great Taste Gold Medal in 2018. Less rated then. I really like that. I really like that. I like that enough. It's a terrifically hop beer. If you like your New World hops, you'll really like that pale ale. And being a pale ale at 5% ABV, you can session that as much as you like. I like it enough to give it a Stone the Crows 8 out of 10. It's an 8 out of 10 from Real Ale Craft Beer. Please put your comments in the comments box, subscribe to our daily beer and food reviews, give us a big fat thumbs up. Boom! Cheers!